Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Cyber Snowwolf, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. And before we continue on, I just want to say Happy New Year's to everyone out there. Now, let's make 2018 an awesome year. Now, today, I decided to showcase you guys my custom LEGO Kingdom Hearts minifigures. These figures, here's I have been working on for a very long time. This is wave 1. There's going to be a lot more waves in the future. I have 2 other waves already up and running. But with these guys, these were the first ones that I made. I can't exactly remember when, because it was such a long time ago, But ever since I first became a fan of Kingdom Hearts, I've been wanting to make these figures. And when I saw that there was like few people, on the internet that actually made them, I decided oh, this is an outrage. I must fix this outrage. So here's my solution to that. So, here we have 6 of my favorite characters. We have Sora, Roxas, Kairi, Naminé, Riku, Xion, and, of course, the main villain himself, Xehanort. And also, they have their Keyblades, as you can see. Each of them with their own Keyblades. It's with Sora. I chose to give him his KH3 Keyblade. Which, speaking of that, 2018, people, is finally the year that Square Enix releases Kingdom Hearts 3, or as I like to call it, the Holy Grail of Square Enix. I'm so excited to play that game. But, like the last video, we're going to go through these figures one at a time. I'm always still. And I'll start from Sora, and we'll go from there. So here we have Sora in his KH2 outfit. This outfit looks amazing. And in this episode, aside and from his front torso decal, everything was hand-drawn by me, because I couldn't find any other decals that showed the rest of his costume. His front torso. Also, on the other hand, it was slightly modified to match more to the outfit. I had to look at some photos of a costume of this outfit, and so that way I can get exactly of what Sora would look like. I was tempted to draw his KH3 outfit, but I'm actually saving that when the game is released. And if the rest of the characters, if they get new outfits as well, I want to make those as well. So I'll save that for like a future wave, even the future. So, moving on into the figure himself. He has print. And we have some detail going on with the legs, the front torso. It captures his outfit very nicely. And moving his arm. There's articulation in the arms and not really much in the legs, because, like with the last figure, like with the last few figures, if I try to move it, the cowls will come off and they're a pain to get back on. But we have some detailing on his legs as well. Not really much on his shoes. It's because they were pretty hard to get that on a normal Lego foot, so we had to skip on the shoes. On the back, I think we have some more of his yellow belts and his hood. And here's his Keyblade. Now, this was part of like a weapons thing that I wanted to do. That's when first making these figures, I wanted to figure out like how would I make the Keyblade? How would I make the Keyblades? And the solution came in, and I decided I went on the internet and found like pictures of the Keyblades. I took it through a reflecting mirror app on my pad, and reflected it both sides, so that way the blade could be shown on either end. And I took a sword handle that I had, and I took like a Lego sword handle, or like some bars from Lego ladders, and super glued those into those in between, of like where the sword handle goes. So that way the minifigure can grab the handle, and then be able to wield the sword. Or downside though is that because of the sword, it adds weight to the figure, and so I had to put him on a board. So that way it would stabilize more and he'd be able to stand better. Remember, his hairpiece, I think this is roughly close to what his hair looks like now. Now, it's not as crazy looking as it is in the game, but I kind of didn't want to do that. Like, I saw a few other, photos of some other KH figures on how their hairpieces look like from, I forgot the series of where it was from, but it was like these pilots who would control these giant robots, and they would use that hairpiece. one of those hairpieces. I didn't really like it. I thought that looked weird and just crazy. So I scrapped that idea and chose to go with a more simple, with a more kind of wavy look. This still gives off the spiky hair look. Okay, and at the same time, sort of gives us more of what Sora's hair would look like. So, oh yeah, I thought this actually looks pretty good. Alrighty, so we're now gonna move on down the line. Next up, we have Sora's nobody, Roxas. Yes, he's my favorite character out of all of them. We have him in his KH2 outfit, because that's how this figure first started out. This was definitely one of the figures that I had to hand draw the outfit. Well, not really hand draw. I took it through Drawcast, and so that way I was able to draw the outfit better, and I wouldn't mess anything up, and if I made a mistake, I could easily go back and erase it. And so, yeah, this was pretty hard and easy to make at the same time. So, he's kind of like a dual-wielding Roxas, so he has his two Keyblades. And he has Oblivion and Oathkeeper. I kind of like to imagine that these two blades are sort of his way to represent like his light and dark, or that he had to go through. Whoa, sorry about that. And the camera almost fell. Okay. Hey, so let's see if we can remove one of the Keyblades and give you guys a little closer view of what his outfit, of what the rest of him looks like. Okay, I think I can. Yes, I can. Okay, we'll set one of the blades over there on the side. And so looking at his side, as you can see this hand, and you can ignore that little black in there. That's just the paint trying to come off. But in general, I don't know, there's nothing really on here, except his sleeve. His other hand, however, I gotta take out Oathkeeper. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, back here. As you can see on his hand, and on his left hand, and he has his two rings and his checkered bracelet. The rings originally were a hand decal, but it kept coming off, and finally I had enough, and I just painted on the rings. This made it much easier to actually get it on. And so he now looks more complete. So taking a closer look at the torso. So as you can see, his pattern on his jacket, including, is pretty detailed. It was very difficult to make. It was very hard. I really had to focus, more on the jacket. I really didn't anything else. Everything else was pretty easy. The jacket itself, it was very hard to get all that detailing in, and especially with the checkered, with like his little checkered pattern he has going from the front and on the back. This was pretty hard to make, but I'm very satisfied of how it came out. Now his hairpiece, this came from a Kai minifigure that I either bought online or got it at a convention, but I got the minifigure solely because I needed his hairpiece, so I can make it. And the hairpiece in general, it has gone through different color shades, and this has been in either a bright yellow or sort of like a goldish bronze. Finally, I settled down for bronze, and it's because Roxas is kind of a bronzette in this game. And that's pretty much it. And the pattern continues to go on to the back. There's not really a lot to go on with his legs. If I was more skilled, and if I was able to, I would add a lot more detailing onto the legs, so that way we could see the full detail of his shoes. But since I can't do that, I had to settle down for the base color, which was a dark gray. But in general, I don't know, I think this minifigure turned out pretty good. And I'm excited to see that if Roxas does come back in KH3, if he comes back with a new outfit. I want to see him with some new new threads, and those would definitely be fun to make. So yeah, that's Roxas. Let's now move on to the next minifigure. Next up is Sora's best friend, Riku. I guess, in a way, a second protagonist in the game series. I kind of did a bad on my end on, well, one, and his face decal is messed up a little bit because at the time when trying to get this hairpiece on, I attempted to super glue the head on and then put the hairpiece on. I realized that was a bad idea, and I tried to get it off. Now I can't, and so it's stuck like this. So, that was kind of a bad on my end. So I'm planning on, if I do in fact have to do a KH3 wave series to sort of fix the face, just like get a new hairpiece and everything. So that's one of my plans to do that. And another kind of bad I did was I accidentally did a combination, and I combined two different outfits into one, because at the time I thought that they were the same outfit, but I accidentally combined in his KH2 outfit with his Dream Drop Distance outfit. So that was a bad on my end, and I do apologize for that. But it kind of, I don't know, looks cool. It kind of does, as like, in a way, sort of add more to Riku, and I'm pretty excited of what his next outfit will look like. Like, it'll actually look pretty cool. Well, so with Riku, with this minifigure himself, as you can see, he has his way to Dawn Keyblade. I think it's a very interesting Keyblade, because it's like a combination between his old sword, Soul Eater, and sort of redeemed himself in the light. Like, he walks the path to Dawn, and this was sort of a way to reconnect the Keyblade. Well, reconnect it with himself, because he originally was supposed to be the chosen one of the Keyblade, but he got corrupted by darkness, and so on and so forth. So, due to sort of like the graphics of the game, I can't really tell whether or not his pants were blue or purple, so I settled down for purple. I think that might be incorrect. But then again, I don't truly know, due to like the color change. On his hands, and on his left hand, he has like this white sleeve kind of thing. And I'm not really sure how you would describe it, but yeah, that's a sleeve there on his left. And on his right, there's actually nothing on his right. Right? It's just a blank arm. So nothing really special about there. The hairpiece was another funny story, because around the same time where I got Roxas' hairpiece, I got this hairpiece off of like a minifigure set. It was from a Nexo Night pack, and the minifigure, it had the hairpiece. I didn't really care about the figure or the set it was in. I just needed that hairpiece, because that's sort of like a critical thing. With some of these figures, I require the hairpiece. Like I need the hairpiece. Nothing else matters. And I don't care for you. I need your hair. That sounds weird when you say it out loud. Sorry about that. But yeah, with the rest of Riku, not really a whole lot to go on with this figure in general. He actually does, but on the back, he does have his Dream Eater symbol, which is not completely accurate, because like with everything else, this was drawn on Drawcast. Same thing with his pants. And his shoulder thing. So yeah, that's Riku in general. This minifigure is definitely gonna be one of those that if I do a KH3 wave, and they all have new outfits, is definitely gonna be one that I'm gonna try to fix. I'm gonna try to fix him. But anywho, let's move on to our next figure. So here we have next is Sora and Riku's best friend, Kairi. She is, I guess in a way, a damsel in distress, like the designated damsel in the KH series. But she's not really like your typical damsel, like she doesn't sit in her prison cell and waits to be rescued. No, Kairi is one of those characters that refuses for that and actually wants to put up a fight. So and I think she's going to play a very vital role in KH3. I'm hoping that since it has been confirmed that you can have more than 3 party members, I think it will be cool if she becomes one of your party members, and even better is if she actually becomes a playable character, because she has been one of the few characters that has not been a playable character, and I think that is wrong, and that's there should be more playable characters. So, anyways, with this figure, in general, as you can see, she has her red hair, her pink zipped up dress, and her Destiny's Embrace Keyblade. This Keyblade, moving it to the other side so you can see it. It's definitely a very interesting Keyblade. I think if this wasn't a Keyblade, it would make a marvelous bouquet. But it's very unique. Nonetheless. There's on the back, we have her, there's some detailing on the back, and her little hood, and some more of her dress, and this white line that draws up with the pattern, and some paint on the legs on the behind. Like with Riku, the right arm, there's nothing really on there. The left arm, however, there's 3 bracelets. It's that kind of line up together in the actual game, but I think they're loose and independent from each other, so that's kind of how it goes there. And if we can adjust the lighting just a small bit. Okay, move the arm. And as you can see, she actually does have a pouch hanging on her from her waist. Nice. Detailing on the dress, as again, was another hard thing to do. It took a lot of time to look at different photos of her outfit. I had to look at game pictures of the outfit. It's an actual costume of how to get the detailing on there. But in general, this was almost as difficult as Roxas. Not quite as hard, mainly because this was kind of simple of how to get it in, minus the detailing of the zippers. I don't know if you can fully tell, but yeah, the zippers there. And with the hairpiece, it's actually made of molding clay, because the original one I had for this thing, it was bad. It was way too long and it covered up most of the detailing, so I got rid of that and swap it out for clay to sort of attempt to capture more of what her hair would look like in the game. And again, with shoes, she mainly wears purple Converse. That's what it looks like in the game. So yeah, this is kind of what Kairi looks like. And I'm hoping that when KH3 is released, she becomes a playable character in the game. And it'll be pretty cool to actually also have her as a party member, and have more action in this. And it's screw damsel in distress, have her be a full-on warrior. It'd be amazing. Alright, now let's move on to our next figure. Here is now Kairi's nobody, Naminé. And Naminé is a very interesting character, because she's not your typical nobody. They call her a witch because she has the power of memories. If you don't fully know of Naminé, her abilities are that she can take and replace memories. It's that is some powerful magic right there. And I think out of all the figures, this one was the easiest to make, because Naminé's outfit is not very complicated. It's just mainly a white dress and blue sandals. But with the feet, I didn't really get the sandals printed off, so they're more like blue shoes. Her Keyblade with Naminé, actually, Naminé is the one character out of all of them that we have not seen her able to wield a Keyblade. We haven't seen any evidence to show that she can wield one yet. But I'm hoping in KH3 that will change. I'm hoping that she'll be able to wield one, and she'll be awesome. I'll be an awesome fighter with it. So, there's slight detailing on the back with the dress. On her dress. This, with her arms, there's nothing. She doesn't really wear anything special on the sleeves. She doesn't even have sleeves. It's just a simple white dress. But with her keyblade, this idea came from like a few DeviantArt posters of like what it'd be like if she wielded the keyblade, and it was the ultimate weapon from KH1. And I guess this comes roughly close of what it would look like. I'm hoping that if she does wield the keyblade in KH3, it will be a different keyblade, and sort of like something that really speaks to like Naminé's personality in a way. Right. And her hairpiece, I tried to get it as close as I could to the actual one in the game, and this was just about as close as I could get to it, and I think it looks good. This actually looks pretty good. So yeah, out of all the characters, this one was the easiest to make because it didn't require a lot of detailing. I only had to look at one photo, and that was merely a gamer photo of what she looks like in the game series. So in general, this was probably the easiest K out of all of my KH figures to make. Alrighty, so now we'll be able to move on to our next minifigure. So moving on is our next figure, Xion, aka the 14th member of Organization 13, aka the Forgotten member. I guess in a way this was another figure that was a little complicated and simple at the same time. The only really hard thing that there was drawing the chains on this figure. Because there's just, as I don't know if you can tell by the lighting, but the pattern does kind of continue on down the jacket. Like, this was like originally of what I was gonna use for like an Organization 13 decal, but then I realized that it was actually pretty easy to make. All I really have to do is just take some silver paint and just paint it on. So I kind of hit a dead one in there. This minifigure did originally had a hood piece, but I had to use that hood piece for my 13th daughter. So, in general, this is what the figure kind of looks like. I chose to give her this hairpiece because this was closely of what it would look like, in the game with her hair. And as her keyblade, in the game series, her keyblade is the Kingdom Key. However, with the Kingdom Key, it's Sora's Kingdom Key, and so we can't really have two Kingdom Keys at the same time. So I decided to give her the To Become One Keyblade as a way to sort of like represent her journey between light and dark, like with Roxas. If I didn't want to make Roxas like a dual wielder, I probably would have had like her wield Oblivion, have Naminé wield Oathkeeper, and Roxas wield To Become One. But I wanted to make Roxas a dual wielder, because I saw that would be fitting, and I had to give Xion a Keyblade, so I chose the To Become One Keyblade. It's one of my favorite Keyblades of all time, and I think in her hands, and this is a pretty cool weapon. Xion, and you can actually play as Xion, for a little bit in the DS game 358. But aside from that, Xion's not really much of a playable character. But I'm hoping that changes in KH3, that she'll make a comeback that not only as a party member, but as a playable character. So that'll be pretty fun. I'm really looking forward to that game. Alrighty, so now let's move on to the last character of this wave. And last we have is the main villain, Xehanort. So this minifigure is very different from the one in the game. He actually does have legs, but I sort of wanted to give it like a height differences to like show more of his adultness. And so I gave him one of those bodies that sort of extends the figure higher, and most of my Organization 13 characters, they all have the same ones. the same design as well as Ansem, but I'll get to those figures another day. So he has his big old Keyblade. We actually don't know the name of this Keyblade. This one has been very mysterious. There have been a few names like the Gazing Eye or the Master's Eye, but for now, we've merely called it either No Name or Xehanort's Keyblade. Right. So I'm hoping that'll be like another mystery solved in KH3. With his face. As you can see, he has like his scowl. And also, his beard. I originally gave him hair, but when making like Xemnas and Ansem, I decided to scrap that idea and just leave it as his baldness on this. His arms, there wasn't really anything to go on with aside from paint the arms white. So they're pretty plain. And the only other like major decal else he does have that I had to look at some outfits it's to make are his front torso, the bottom of his legs, and his back. So yeah, in general, this is Xehanort, and this guy has been quite the villain in the KH series. He is responsible for killing Master Ericus. He has forced his apprentices to go on dark paths a little bit. He possessed Terra. He then had his Heartless possess Riku. He had his Nobody make Roxas, Naminé, and Xion's lives hell. So yeah, this dude is very bad. He's a very bad villain. And I'm looking forward that when KH3 comes out, that we finally get to kick the son of a gun on his butt. I'm really looking forward to taking him out once and for all. So yeah, that's pretty much Xehanort in general. Not really a lot to go on with this figure. But I'm definitely looking forward to taking him on in like the ultimate final boss fight. So now let's begin to wrap up this video. And that does it for this episode of LEGO Arts. I've definitely been wanting to showcase these guys for quite some time. I have a whole bunch of other minifigures that I'm wanting to showcase, that I'll showcase to you guys eventually. But to start our 2018 off, I figure I started off by showcasing one of my all-time favorite minifigures of all years. And I'm going to be doing some more waves of these guys. I've already done a few other characters such as Organization 13 and some characters from Birth by Sleep. I might be doing some from Union X, and I might be doing a few other like characters that have been in like the series like a few times. And as for like some films, I'll probably either wait until KH3 comes out, or I might just start ahead with like my own interpretation of how Kingdom Hearts would go. Whether that be that they're all family, or mainly close to the storyline, and with Sora traveling with Donald and Goofy. Oh, that actually does remind me. I am going to do the Disney characters. I'm working on some decals for them, and I'm even planning on adding a few extra Disney characters as like part of some of the films that I'll be doing. I won't say of who it will be that way, because I don't want to give out any spoilers. But it will. But one film will be. It'll be mainly based off of a game that I have not played, but I have seen a few videos of it, so I get somewhat of a premise of what is going on there. But yeah, with that being said, I am planning on in the future to do some more Kingdom Hearts characters. I'm not going to be done with this series, and I will be doing some gameplay videos of the video games, mainly the ones that I can play on my that I can capture on my consoles on my DS. As much as I love my DS, as my capture card is not capable of capturing anything from the DS, so sadly I will not be able to do games such as Recoded or 358. But I will still do those games, because I enjoy playing the game series, and I might do a couple of videos just showing you guys of my Union X, of what I have going on in there, but I won't But for that game, I won't be doing like a full series. That one will kind of just be like here's what I do in my free time. So in general, I don't know, with these minifigures, I am planning on to have some films. Be called out for them, and I'll show more of what will be going on in the films. But until then, these guys will be just sitting, waiting for something to happen. But back to the KH3 wave. That is sitting in the back of my mind, so I might be doing that after Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. I've lately been avoiding most of it, mainly because I don't want it to get, like, too spoiled as to what's going on. I already know that Toy Story 3, that Toy Story in general is coming to that series, so I'm waiting on that part. Sorry about that. But anywho, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment below what you think, and share this to your friends. And here's a howl for the road. Ow! And thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time when the ice moon rises!